we're heading down south again for mule deer, and we're going to Mr. Mike Harvey's place. And it's just, you know, one of southern Alberta's wonders, really, to get out here and see this kind of wildlife. Pretty average winds, I'd say, eh, for this area?
Yeah, it's like a solid time.
This is one of those hunts that you're on the glass the entire time. I just gotta wait for a few does and fawns to clear, and then I'm gonna take my shot.
Live on the edge, 'cause brother, win or lose, it's all in what you do with the chance you're given. Yeah, through the wind and rain, you feel your heart pounding. You got one shot, what you got? Tell me what's it gonna be? You gotta make the most of this opportunity. If others fail, make sure you succeed. On the edge.
The Edge is brought to you by Browning, Vortex, Cabela's, Hornady, Jimbo's and Black Gold, Stealth Cam, Walker's Game Ear, Outdoor Edge, High Mountain Seasonings, Plano, Tenzing, Gold Tip Arrows, Driving Force, Prime Bows, G5 Broadheads, Grizz Targets, Hawk Tree Stands, Rifle Caddy, and Tree Stand Buddy.
All right, this year we're heading down south again for mule deer, and we're going to Mr. Mike Harvey's place. Good friend of mine. Last year we hunted together. I was fortunate enough to kill a monster mule deer buck with my bow, a typical that went just over 200 inches. That was my first time hunting down there with Mike, and so expectations are super high for this hunt. All right, well, we're heading south, and hey, I gotta come through Calgary anyway. Might as well stop at the house of Gloriness. Time for a little last minute shopping here at Cabela's before we head south for our mule deer. First up, pop guns. Yep, two boys, 5 and 9, that will be thrilled with anything Cabela's. Ooh, I like that one. Look at the big Cabela's truck. Elk. That's going in the cart. Oh, yeah. Oh, where's the eyepiece? How's that? What do you think, Cal? Is this like Ninja? Like for mule deer?
Yeah.
Yeah? One of the best tree stands in the biz right there, folks. Helium Pro, Hawk. I'm telling you. Maybe a little too comfortable. I fall asleep most times. Now we're off to the mule deer hunt. Well, we end up, you know, meeting Mike late last night, and we kind of get settled, shoot the breeze a little bit, and kind of organize our gear and get ready for the morning. Alarm goes off at 5 a.m. We're super stoked. Oh, right there. Point out here where the field starts to flatten. There's a buck with a doe there.
We're doing a lot of going on the farmland and the river breaks and looking in the bush and along the rivers and watching the deer come off the fields.
I know what I'm in store for. Lots of game. First morning out, and you know, we've been maybe an hour. We've already seen, animal-wise, 400 animals between antelope and mule deer, whitetail. Pretty cool.
Well, I remember when I first moved out here, the deer, seeing the bucks. I mean, the first 4-point I saw, I couldn't believe it. I'd never really seen a good 4-point, and now, I mean, you see so many deer, and you're just expecting to see so many deer, and if you don't, you're almost disappointed if you don't see a couple hundred deer.
It's definitely nice to see this many goats. I mean, southern Alberta got hit pretty hard, and just seeing a herd like this with this many goats, it's pretty good. They look like they're, I mean, at least in this location, they look like they're coming back.
That's right, yeah.
It's just you know, one of southern Alberta's wonders, really, to get out here and see this kind of wildlife. This is one of those hunts that you're on the glass the entire time. There's not a moment that goes by where you're not glassing animals, trying to find the one you want, trying to find a mature buck. Holy, when you get looking, is there a lot of deer in there?
Oh, there's tons, dude. You almost can't just glass and go. You almost gotta sit for half hour, 45 minutes to see what moves in and out.
Every, 3 minutes, you're looking at another group, trying to determine what's in that batch.
Well, so we move on here. Nothing tickles my fancy yet.
This segment brought to you by Jimbo's Archery and Black Gold.
We head down to the riverbanks, looking down into the flats. There's these big flats along this river down here. What there is for brush, these deer just suck right to them. Well, we're just looking at a buck right now. I put him, what do you think, 185?
Yeah,
About a 185. Just not quite what we're looking for here right now. I mean, a good mature buck nonetheless, but early on day one. Here we go again, making things hard on myself. But I think considering that we've seen probably 400 head of deer, and it's not even 10 o'clock in the morning, I think we're okay on this one. Truck?
Yeah. Okay.
We decided to pull out of there, head down, and kind of get downriver a little more, maybe a mile and a half.
There he is.
The big one?
I think it's him. There's one in front, you can see the horns. I think the big one and the dark horned one. In the trees there.
Look down, we watch him for about 10 minutes, he stands up.
He's not a bad buck.
No, he's way more than not a bad buck. Finally, he breaks out into this opening. Mike hits him with the rangefinder again, and he says, he's right at 1070. And I looked at him and I said, what do you want to do? And he said, well, you want to take him? And I said, well, you know, we could, if we get down, we can get a lot closer, come off the bank, go across here, blah, blah, blah. Mike looks at me and goes, no, we're good, right here. And I said, well, you know, what do you want to do? And he says, well, I'll take him. And I said, well, have at her. So it went from me being in the driver's seat to Mike first up to bat. I've never seen this done before.
He's 1,020, but he's moving into the trees.
So I couldn't believe my ears. I mean, I'm looking at this dot, which seems like a million miles away to me. I just couldn't believe the confidence Mike has for the long range game. And you know, Mike's been a long range guy for quite some time. He's taken some tremendous animals at some great distances. Was this pushing the envelope even for Mike? I thought so.
I really didn't want to get too much closer because I didn't want to walk down the cliff, but Steve suggested maybe we get a little bit closer, and I said, well, let's just keep an eye and watch it.
He's in the woods there now.
He might stop in there. Oh, there he is.
Okay, should be coming out front through the trees. Lots of tree cover there though.
I can't see where he is.
He's back in the thick trees. I still got him. He's kind of heading out into the field now. He's at the top of the trees. He's still behind him. Yeah, he's gonna funnel right out behind all those does. Yeah, here he comes. I know Mike is getting ready for green light on this deal. Mike, if you can.
I can't.
No?
The trees are in the way.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready. Got him. Dude, you just smoked him. I mean, smoked him. He's doing the backwards.
I see him.
Dude, that was a perfectly placed shot. How far is that? 1,200?
1070.
I cannot believe I just witnessed you smoke a buck at 1,100 yards with a 243. Down. 1,100 yards. Holy crap, buddy. I couldn't have placed a bullet any better at 100 yards myself. I'm telling you what, I have this, folks, this is a 243. A 243, 1,100 yard shot. And I mean, on the button.
Hornady bullets.
ELDX, do it again, right? On the button.
People say it's not a gun to shoot long range, but I mean, I think you saw it and I saw it, and proven that it's more than worthy of doing what intended it to do.
I got a 2-hour drive to get to
Yeah, he's in a different zip code. That if we had to phone him, it'd be long distance. Well, thanks a lot, eh? Like I really wanted to shoot that buck myself.
I was hoping you'd say no.
I mean, I've been just giggling this whole time. We've been in the truck now for 15 minutes. Left the location there that we took the shot from, and it's literally 22 miles all the way back through the city, all the way around to get to where this deer fell. I mean, you talk about long range. This just adds to the humor of it all. Unreal. Well, here we go. We're making the recovery on Mike's buck right now, and judging from the magpies, he's right there. Where he took the shot from was way up on top. Oh, dude. Wow. Look at that.
He is a hog, eh?
He is a hog. Look at the width on him. All right, well, there you have it, the conclusion of our very first morning here in southern Alberta. We're here with good friend Mike Harvey. Mike, congratulations, man.
Thank you, sir.
And I mean, just a fantastic buck. I mean, great forks, super wide, big brow tines, really, you know?
Yeah,
and
got it all.
yeah, he's got it all. And first morning of our hunt together. So I still have a tag.
That's right.
And yeah, a little work ahead of us, no big deal. And we're right back in the game again.
And get her done.
Unreal. Hey, congrats again, buddy.
Thanks a lot.
That's
Appreciate
awesome. Stay tuned after the commercial break. I'm up next.
The Edge is brought to you by Rifle Caddy.
Got him. Down. 1,100 yards. Holy crap, buddy. So we get Mike's deer taken care of, you know, right from field dressed, loaded in the truck, back to the house, hung up, skinned out, ready to go. I look at the watch, it's only 2:30 in the afternoon. We have the rest of the day to go after my buck, and that's it. I'm the only one left with the tag, so here we go. Well, we head right back out to where we left off this morning. Lots of deer in the area. We just figured for sure we haven't spotted everything, you know, in the morning. So we're back out there on the river edge, and we're looking down. And next thing I know, Mike says, "There he is." And I look over, and I'm looking at a 3x3. I mean, I call him a chicken wing, just this young deer. And Mike says, no, like 100 yards over. I swing the binos over, and here is a giant buck. A quick look, and he walks right into a big bush patch, proceeds to just rake and rake and rake the trees. And thinking, if he walks out of there, if I only have seconds, you know, are we going to be able to make this happen? He walks out, you know, casual. Obviously, he doesn't know we're there, and gives us ample opportunity to really scope him out. You know, he's of the age class for sure that I'm hoping for. I'm putting him at, you know, at least 5 years old, if not 6 years old. Deep forks, good height, and a beautiful, cool, unique kicker out the right side. And that's kind of what I was after, you know, something with a little bit of uniqueness to it. We watched this deer for, I don't know, probably half an hour at least, to the point where we were shivering. And I give him a pass for tonight. You know, I think that we'll be able to find that deer again. I feel really confident. It's not like we're not seeing game. We literally saw, I bet you, over 500 mule deer alone today, and at least 100 bucks. So yeah, I feel pretty confident about this pass. With Mike's deer down, we have the same game plan moving forward. Get up super early each morning, find a great vantage point, and start putting our time behind the glass. Sometimes the weather would break and we'd get a clear view, and sometimes the weather would make it much more difficult. We are still able to spot some great bucks, but unfortunately, none of those have the wow factor we're looking for. There's no way a guy can see all of this.
We've seen them in caves.
Yeah, well, that's what I keep looking in, every little tiny hole.
Yeah, they'll sit right in there and just their head out. Because then nothing can come above them.
Yeah, it's a pretty wild place.
And in the summer, it's all like alkali, it's all white. That's why they call it white rock.
Well, it's white rock right now. I don't know how many folks watching at home get to experience something like this. This is a wonder of our province down here. It's a beautiful place. So Mike, this is quite the tract of land. This behind us here is the British block.
Yeah, known as Suffield, where the CFB Suffield they call it, and the British soldiers come out here and train from May to middle of October, November.
Massive tract of land. Right along the river too. Well, I mean, it looks like moonscape down here in the river valley, and then you get up top, and I mean, it is barren.
She's flat as a pancake.
Not many tree stand sales happening over there.
No, there might be one.
That's awesome.
Probably it.
What a beautiful track. But I think we can do better yet. Now, if this was Friday afternoon, it might be a different story. With 1 day left, all we can do now is cross our fingers that a payoff on a great buck is right around the corner.
This segment brought to you by Stealth Cam.
Well, we're drawing close to the conclusion of our mule deer hunt, and you know what? I'm feeling jacked up. I'm feeling like today's gonna be the day. We come into this one area and look out there, and sure enough, there is a dandy buck out there with this herd of about 12 does. Well, I was completely stoked, you know, to see this big deer and to watch him run all these other deer off. You know, it was kind of one that we could put in the memory bank for later on this afternoon, because these does look so comfortable up in this flat, feeding and getting run around that we knew they'd be back later that night. So we proceeded on down, and we did our usual checks all the way along the river, peeking over the banks, looking for these big deer. That was it. We made up our minds. It was game, set, match. We were going back to that flats where we saw that big one earlier in the morning. So we get in there, get the truck parked, grab our backpacks. This is going to be quite a haul. You have to dip down through this ginormous coulee, come up the other side.
Nice and flat, eh? Usually. Yeah. I don't know where we are now.
We get back up the other side, we're huffing and puffing. We have to be in place before the deer start coming out, or we're gonna get busted. And we get going across, and we come up on the slightest of knolls, and all of a sudden, there's some ears. So as these horn tips start to appear behind this knoll, my heart starts to race, and of course, here he comes, and I see the two kickers, so I know it's the buck we're after. This is, you know, at this point, I'm getting pretty jacked up, pretty excited. He comes up. I pretty much already made up my mind that I'm gonna take this deer if I get an opportunity.
How far? 287.
I start to settle in with my crosshairs.
Ready? Doe behind. Ready? Yeah.
He's standing there broadside. I'm on him, nice and solid. I just gotta wait for a few does and fawns to clear, and then I'm gonna take my shot. But I'm a huge believer in shoot till you can't see them anymore, or shoot till you run out of bullets. And a lot of people laugh at me for that, but I've just had too many times where deer have gotten away, or they get down on a big coulee bank. You know, you'll save yourself a lot of time and grief by, I think, doing the right thing. Alberta mule deer, complete. Thanks, brother. Oh, man. Not the not the 200-incher we were after, but that's the buck from this morning with the kickers.
Yeah, he's a beauty.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So we get walking up on this deer, and I mean, it is a good buck. He is a mature buck. I mean, he's probably a 4.5-year-old deer. I'm pretty tickled and really excited. Well, I'm happy. I can tell you I'm happy right now. There's that little kicker we saw.
I can get two.
when we get right up there, he's literally 10 feet from the coulee banks. So the idea of me shooting again pays off in spades on this one, because that would have turned a 20-minute job into a 6.5-hour job, I'm sure of it. Little wee one here and a little fish hook on this side.
Extra brow tine. He's a beauty.
There you go. Thanks, brother. He had the rule of the roost. We saw him this morning. Well, here we are, southern Alberta. I'm with my good pal, Mike, and you know, our plan was originally to get on the river and run the riverboat, but that just did not happen. Winter came early, like super early, and it's been cold ever since, so still super happy, super pumped. So just a fantastic week of mule deer hunting down here in southern Alberta. Big shout out to the Harvey family, Mike and his whole crew. Just the hospitality and everything else, it was just aces. And yeah, we're already looking forward to coming back next year. It'll be with the stick and string and hopefully a little warmer so we can get out on that riverboat.
The Edge is brought to you by Browning, Vortex, Cabela's, Hornady, Jimbo's and Black Gold, Stealth Cam, Walker's Game Ear, Outdoor Edge, High Mountain Seasonings, Plano, Tenzing, Gold Tip Arrows, Driving Force, Prime Bows, G5 Broadheads, Grizz Targets, Hawk Tree Stands, Rifle Caddy, and Tree Stand Buddy.